New home sales down nearly 14% in May. It was the biggest month-over-month decline in 3 years as buyers continue to grapple with stubbornly high mortgage rates. Today's data sending housing stocks lower, with the ITB Home Construction ETF down over 1% and snapping a 4-day winning streak, which had been its best stretch since January. For more, Zillow senior economist Orphe Divounguy joins us right now. Orphe, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. I was actually enjoying the debate there. That was great.
Really? I'm glad there's at least one person out there. All right, let's get to housing, Orphe. What are you seeing on the site, on Zillow, in terms of listings? I mean, we know that home builders are under pressure to make it work, the numbers work for potential buyers who are on the sidelines. But how about existing homes? Is there movement in the market?
Yes, although housing affordability has improved slightly from a year ago, home sales continue to bounce along the bottom. On the demand side, of course, we were hit hard with consumer confidence dropping drastically in April. We have a frozen labor market, and I think that's still a headwind for housing demand going forward, right? The unemployment rate is poised to move higher. You're seeing it in continued claims. Labor market tightness is linked to residential mobility. People move for jobs, right? And so you're seeing kind of that pressure on the demand side, but ultimately, existing home sales still manage to increase slightly in May, despite those headwinds. And so I think that's a positive. Builders are now facing more competition from homeowners that are basically coming back on the market. Resale inventory is up 20% compared to last year.
So, Orphe, in your world, what's more important, what's more dangerous for the industry, higher rates or an unemployment rate that starts to sort of creep higher in a noticeable way?
Look, you can't get a mortgage if you're unemployed. And I think the labor market is really what I'm paying attention to. And that's why I was enjoying the discussion earlier. I think the Fed, everyone is kind of paying attention more so to the labor market. Inflation's roughly, 2.1%. We're going to get PCE this week. So we're not far off, right? And some research also shows that some of the impact of tariffs is already kind of playing itself out. So yeah, I think the Fed will probably be looking at the unemployment rate and the labor market that's cooling maybe faster than expected.
In terms of seller mentality, Orphe, I'm curious as to know whether or not sellers are now saying, you know what, mortgage rates are going to be where they are. The economy's a little bit iffy, and I'm going to cut my price. Are we at that point where you're seeing more price? I mean, just as an observer, a recreational observer of Zillow listings, I've noticed that there are a lot more price cuts recently.
Yes, we had the most price cut for any May since 2018. Sellers sellers and buyers are kind of coming back together. There was a big gap between sellers and buyers. We've been talking about a rebalancing for the last 3 years. I think the rebalancing is finally here. According to the Zillow Market Heat Index, the bargaining power between buyers and sellers is the best for buyers it's been since 2018. So I think sellers now facing more competition means they're going to have to be a bit more strategic, work a little bit harder, and making sure their listing reaches the most potential home buyers.
So, Orphe, when you look at it, how much of this really is accounted for seasonality as well? When you look at the spring selling season, summer selling season, is this something we're all getting excited that existing home sales finally starts to tick up and it could peter out as well? Do you classify that on a percentage basis at all?
So we talked about a kind of a delay because of the headwinds that we were facing at the start of the home shopping season, right? Everybody knows what's going on with tariffs, et cetera, the big stock market correction that we had in March and April, right? So we talked about a delay. Our forecasting team still believes, home sales could increase slightly, right? Modestly increase and finish the year slightly higher than in 2024.